What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Skywars. So today, I have something to talk about, which is, the worst experience I've ever had in my life that has convinced me that we need to eradicate cockroaches from the earth. They just need to be gone immediately. So, basically, I was getting ready. It was like 5th grade, right? One morning, 5th grade. I was getting ready for school, went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and stuff, because, good child brushes their teeth. So, I'm brushing my teeth, and all of a sudden, over my shoulder in the mirror, I'm looking in the mirror, and I just notice these two little, I can't even tell what they are. At first I'm like, oh, it's just hair got stuck in my clothes. So I'm looking at it, and I try to pull it out, and as I try to pull it out, it doesn't go out. So I'm like, what? Then I look over my shoulder, and there is a giant freaking cockroach just on my back, climbing. It's just hitching a ride. And so I like freak out, run out the room, sprinted into a wall to try and get it to fall off. Spoiler alert, it didn't fall off. But I kept running, right? Got into the living room and I just dropped to the floor, right? I was like done, ready to just die immediately. I was okay with it. It didn't matter to me anymore. At that point I was like, yeah, you know what? If I die, I die. That's just life. So I'm like, I drop to the floor and I start rolling around and I'm like, someone do something now before I genuinely die and have a heart attack. And yeah, and so my sibling comes running in with the broom and they like smack me with it multiple times aggressively, and the roach goes flying and it hides in a corner. And I just lay there on the floor for a second and I'm just like, how is this my life? Like, what is this? It's what? And so I go to school and I'm like traumatized. I'm still like, my face is red from the tears. I'm like still recovering from like mentally. And I get to math class and they're like, so let's do our multiplication drills. And they're like, what's 10 times 2? And I'm like 30. And they were like, what? You're the one that always gets all the answers right, huh? And I'm like, what was the question? I wasn't, what, huh? And they were like, it was, what's 2 times 10? And I'm like, wait, hold on. And I checked my arm and I was like, okay, I think it's 20, right? And they're like, yes, it's 20. What? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'm okay. And they're like, what happened to you? So I tell everyone and they're like, why do we live here? Why do we live here? Who decided that this was a good, suitable place for humanity to live? Like, this is in Florida, because I was still in Florida in 5th grade, but they're like, dude, who chose that this is an actually, like, decent environment for humanity to live? What? Who said, yes, Florida, let's move a bunch of humans here? Because it's not, what? It's not as bad as Australia, don't get me wrong, but it's not good. Like, Australia, you gotta deal with freaking, what are they called? Goliath spiders? Dude, those things are terrifying to me. But, like, roaches that are hitching rides on you, it's, like, an entirely different level of terrifying. What? Having a giant spider in your, like, closet, not great. Having a giant roach on your back, also not great. Why is that guy not dead? Excuse me? Okay, there we go. I'm like, it was just not a good experience. I'm still traumatized from it. I need to, like, I have a mission, and that is to eradicate all roaches from Earth. Like, dude, I know that supposedly every species, every animal, every insect, everything offers something to this world. But then, like, dude, why can we just survive when things go extinct? Roaches can't be that big. Look at how small they are. What can they do for the environment? Like, dude, we've already ruined the environment. How are they gonna make it any better? Come on, they're just here to make us more angry and use more trash. You get what I'm saying? If anything, roaches are part of the problem. I think we should just get rid of them entirely, and then we'll just figure it out from there. If we have to replace them with like something not as gross, then sure. So anyways, yeah, speaking of traumatizing experiences, so for those of you that don't know, I was at a concert last night, right? Super exciting. I love concerts. They're so cool to watch, so cool to go to. I love seeing music live, and, usually the singers are nice, entertaining, super fun to watch, right? Well, I went to one last night, and so the venue I was at, right? I was going to see Fall Out Boy, and one of the openers, so for those of you that don't know how concerts work. Basically, there's the headliner, which is the main band that everyone buys the tickets to actually see, and then there are the openers, which the band, likes or sees potential, and they're like, okay, yeah, you can come open for us, so people can, like, get exposed to your music, and then you can decide from there they can decide from there if they want to listen to your music more, right? It's just a way of getting more exposure as a band. So anyways, basically, the venue I was at, right, so there are lawn seats, which are like the cheaper seats. You get to, well, there are not even really seats. You have to bring your own chairs. You have to, set up whatever you want, blankets, whatever. Wherever you want to sit, you get to pick. It's not like an assigned area or anything. You just pick where you want to sit on the lawn, and bam, there you go. That's your seat. So there's the lawn, right? And that's the main big section because those are the cheap tickets. But after that is the there's like this walkway thing that it's a just concrete walkway, and it what's it called? You just walk along that to get to like concessions and merch and all that stuff. So that's where you go to do all the main stuff, right? Well, other than that, after that there are like seating areas under the amphitheater. So there's a roof with fans and speakers and stuff. That's where you can actually see the stage well. And it actually has seats built in, right? So after that, there's the actual pit, front row seats, all that. But what I'm gonna put emphasis on here is the seating area and the aisle and the lawn, right? So let me paint you a visual. So I'm sitting on the lawn, right, at the front of the lawn. Like, we got nice seats. We're not too far behind the seating area. We don't have anyone in front of us other than in the seating area. So we're doing good, right? It's a great spot. There's like a little bit of a slope, but it's not too much of a big deal. We all have a good sense of balance, So we're getting ready because the openers are coming on, which means the headliner is only like an hour-ish away, right? So anyways, yeah, let me explain to you how the venue is set up. So, or wait, no, I might have already done that. If I didn't, then whatever. So anyways, headliners are coming on, right? The first the first opener is a band I'd never have heard of until last night. I think it was Car with 2 R's. They're not bad. All of their songs kind of sound similar to each other, but, they're not bad. A little sexual, but, so I wouldn't listen to them around your parents, or if you're young, but Skyward Stars. No, not Donald J. Trump. But anyways, so the first I keep saying headliner. First opener comes on, and they play for about 20 minutes. They're not bad. I do like them. I mean, all of their music kind of sounds similar, but Second opener shows up, and I believe they were named Royal and the Serpent. Again, not bad. Like, it's not my type of music personally, but they had good songs, good lyrics. I liked them. But after that comes Bring Me the Horizon. Some of you may have heard of them, some of you may not, but they wrote the Giga Chad song, and that's all you really need to know about them. They wrote the Giga Chad song. So, I get to hear that live, which is super cool. But before that, he comes out on stage with a giant bang, and, everyone's super excited. Everyone's, like, really getting hyped to see them perform, right? So everyone's, like, getting up, moving, and he tells everyone, like, get up, dance, do whatever it is. That he doesn't care what your favorite dance is, just do it and bang your head. That's all he asked. And so everyone was, like, getting up, getting into it, and there was this one lady, right? So, I don't know if I actually explained how the venue's set up, but there are chairs, seating area, and it is elevated off the ground by about 6 or 7-ish feet. Now, she's up there dancing, super excited, like, when I say dancing, I mean, like, moving her legs a bit, throwing her arms around, just getting super into the music, right? Well, she's hammered, like, I mean, wasted, and so, she's, like, sitting there, I say sitting, she was standing there, unfortunately, and, like, doing everything she could to just enjoy her night, which is great, but, you know, her boyfriend's holding her up, and so she's, like, almost fell a few times, right? And so I'm, like, keeping an eye out. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna end well at this rate. And, unfortunately, I was right. I had to watch as she dropped head first into the concrete. So I'm, like, already horrified because I'm like, that is not what I came here to see, for one, and two, like, that it's, I don't think you realize just how terrifying it is to watch someone, I don't even, like, so personally, I am very empathetic, I'm an empath, and so I'm, like, sitting there terrified, right, because I'm like, she just dropped, like, 6 feet head first into concrete. I'm seeing blood, and I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god, is she gonna make it? So they instantly, like, the boyfriend takes off, jumps off the thing, and holds her, and he's, like, panicking. I mean, I can't blame him. He's panicking, and she's, like, she's not responding, right? So he runs, like, sprints to get the medic, and so they get there, and they're, like, they get her on the stretcher and stuff, and dude, it was horrifying to watch. It was like, because in my mind, you know, I went straight to, like, well, you know, what about her boyfriend right there that clearly is, like, terrified, her family, her friends, all that. I'm like, I don't even know if she lived or not. Like, that's another scary thing, because I'm like, dude, what if she didn't live? Because, you know, how are all of her family, how's her friend, like, how is everyone gonna feel? I was terrified. I, like, dropped to the floor and started crying, and then it got me in, like, a super depressed mood, because I'm, like, thinking about death and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is so awful, because I'm, like, trying to put myself in her family and friends' positions, and I'm like, well, how would I feel if I lost, you know, my closest friends and stuff? And I like, dropped to the floor crying, because I'm thinking, like, what I would do without my friends, and I'm like, what are they gonna do? Is she okay? How will I know? So I'm, like, terrified from that. I am so traumatized after that, is the thing, because, as I said, I'm an empath. I care a lot about other people, whether I know them or not. So that hurt to see, scared me. I'm definitely going to have to deal with trauma about that. Anyways, guys, that was another episode of Skywars. If you enjoyed, subscribe, leave a like, comment, whatever you want. I honestly don't care. I'll probably respond. But, you know, I'm really bad at outros. Why are you still here? Why are you still waiting? Go watch another video, you know? I probably uploaded more today. See you in the next one.